Wow, this is number 6 on this device. That means nothing, of course. When I go to upload it, you'll just have the audio file on the laptop. Today is the last time I will say 2025, because it is the 31st of December 2025. Tomorrow is the 1st of January, the new year, 2026. 2026. I would say, actually, we don't tend to, unless you're talking, oh, do you remember back in 2025? Otherwise, you don't use the years very often. Not like because I every time I do an audio file, I give the date, so I use the year a lot. Anyway, New Year's Eve 2025, and it is 20 to 6, and I'm just watching the last few moments of the daylight. The sky is that pale blue just before the darkness falls. And we're also getting pretty close to the end of my my little adventure, a strong word, experience on my own. Flo left with Tuco to Marvel. I think it was the 31st, perhaps, of oh God, what's the month before December? November. She left, and my mind went blank. She left the 31st of November, and so I've been on my own for the whole month, except for the break in Malaga from the 4th to the 8th of January, which was interesting. It was a short break when you look at it like that, the 4th to the 8th, 4 days, and you're traveling on the 4th and you're traveling on the 8th. So wow, how many days is not, because on the 4th, Martina and my mother and John, they didn't arrive till around 8:30 or something in the evening. That was Thursday, I think. No, Tuesday. And so we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, that can't be right even. No, I'm thinking about it. It seems really short, because we definitely had 3 full days where we were. I guess we had the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. We were out as normal Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. And that felt quite like it felt longer than 4 days. It's funny, different situation. And I quite enjoyed it. I had a nice bed that I moved into the large open space living room. And I went out on my own a few times, and went with Mammy and Martina and John the other times, and it was nice. Came back here the 8th after a nerve-wracking drive in the dark, and since then, the 8th, I've been here on my own, me, Bob, and Luna, and chess, and scrolling YouTube shorts, and playing Anno, especially in the morning with my coffee. Those things have been the main bulk of my activities. And looking after the the flat here, watering the plants and doing a little bit of cleaning every now and again. But now this part is coming to an end because Flo is on a plane now back to Paris, and I believe, I don't know how long it all takes, whether it'll probably be tomorrow at some point when she gets back to Marival. Or possibly tonight. Because she said she'll be back here Friday or Saturday. I would imagine Saturday. And today's Wednesday, so I've got the full day tomorrow and the next day. That's all, really, just 2 days left. When you're living through a particular, a specific kind of time span, you don't really know how it's going to be remembered. If it'll be remembered at all. Some things just disappear. And it's hard to make any judgments because you're just in it, and I've been relaxed. If I was to discuss how the month went on my own, because a lot of people were a bit, I think, sad for me or concerned. He's going to spend over 4 weeks on his own through the whole holiday period. But I don't think there was any point when I was really depressed or anything. I had my usual moments going to bed at night. It kind of always happens. When I close my eyes to sleep, and then all kinds of shit come to me in my thoughts. You know, my mind goes back to stuff that happened 30 years ago. And it's like I'm thinking, how can I rectify that in some stupid sense of things? You know, going back to the drama center, when, I mean, nearly every teacher I ever had is dead at this point. But still, I go back to that, and then there's a dread of what could happen in the future, and then there's the usual coming stuff with my teeth, having to have my 2 front teeth redone, which is bothering me because I would be so happy if it was just one. But the guy, the dentist, insists that the other one has got an abscess as well, and that if he does the one implant, the one that's left will have a big chance of infecting the whole area. And it makes perfect sense. It's just if it was just one and it was 2,000, I'd be a lot happier than going through the whole thing of 2,000 and 4,000 and having all the hassle with it. But that's one thing. When that's finished, which won't be done for a while, because even after he takes the teeth out, I'm gonna have to have temporary teeth apparently till stuff heals up inside. And yeah, don't want to think about that now. Otherwise, I slept well. It was quite nice a few times to be able to lie in bed on the cold mornings and not get up. The novelty kind of wore off, but at one point it was like, oh, if Tuco was here now, I'd have to get up. But I was able to just, I mean, the cats kind of have taken over a little bit because Luna wakes me up every morning for me to feed her. But that's a lot easier than having to get up and get dressed and walk the dog. In saying that, I do miss Tuco. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. Nah, I just got a message from Flo. Oh boy, looks like her flight's been she says flight to Paris was delayed 1 hour. Now it's cancelled. We have no more news. We're waiting. There is only one daily flight with Air France. Oh God, she may be waiting till tomorrow then. I was kind of wondering what New Year's Day does to all, because it's New Year's Day tomorrow, you know, with flights and everything. I'll get back to her in a minute. Tonight I've got my lamb stew. I did it all yesterday, but it got too late, and I thought I was very disciplined in that I didn't start having a big lamb stew dinner at 8:30, because it just would have been too much, and it's be kind of a shame to stuff your face and then go to bed, you know. It's much better if you can eat earlier and then have some time to burn it off. It's even better if you can eat and then go for a long walk after you eat. So I'm quite happy with that on this New Year's Eve. My dinner is all prepared. I don't have to do anything. I don't know how I feel, like I say, about it's interesting living through a period and looking ahead to it, and then when it's finished. Like I was just saying the other day, the little holiday in Malaga it's like it's gained somehow over the 3 weeks. I think back on it and I think, wow, I really enjoyed that. Yet at the time, I wasn't saying that to myself every day, I'm really enjoying this. But after it was over, I kind of thought that was really, it was different, because I got the place first, and I was explaining the keys and how to use them, and I bought some stuff in the shop for Martina and everybody, and just been taking more apart things, and then being able to find people, you know, meeting them in restaurants or cafes. And it just it just seemed like quite a peaceful. I love the place. I think that the house we were in, the apartment, I really like the apartment. So the same with this particular 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since I came back from Malaga. But in 3 weeks' time, I don't know if I'll be thinking of this. I don't know if it will. I feel like I had a good time. I feel like I had a very peaceful time. And I managed to not get bored or anything, but I think because it's kind of the shortest days of the year as well, and so the days go very fast. When I mean, like now it's 10 to 6, and it's kind of nearly pitch dark. So if you get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, you don't really have to do much for the day, for the nighttime to kind of come. I did some shopping, I did a few walks, not too many. But when it's all finished, I guess if there's tension between me and Flo, if I'm back, because the one thing here, which again, the novelty wears off, but it's that thing of getting up in the morning and having nobody kind of, no feeling that someone's looking over your shoulder, you know. So I can go and just spend hours playing Anno. I don't have to, I'm not making excuses. I'm not trying to, I don't feel like I should be doing something else. It's just all those things, getting up when I want, which, and there's another thing, I never really got into bad habits of getting up later and later and later. I thought at one point that was going to happen, but it hasn't. You know, I was up most mornings around 9, half 9. But yeah, you get used to a certain situation and it's quite peaceful and stuff, and then maybe when it goes away, you can think back on it a certain nostalgic, in a certain nostalgic way. What else? I've been bonding with Bob. I think we're on good terms now. I can even lift him up. And he seems to be coming to some agreement with Luna. Did have an adventure with a very fucking noisy, squeaky mouse. That was about 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what happened to it. Luna, I don't even know if Luna brought it in or if it was here. It was the middle of the night, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was woken up with this noise. I thought it was a bird, because it was literally sounded like it was chirping like a bird. And I was afraid to come out of the room even for a few seconds, because I was thinking, oh my God, is it a bat flying around the house? Then I came out and Luna's lying on the floor, and I couldn't see anything. And then I moved Flo's instrument or box, and there was a little mouse underneath, and it started running off with Luna playing with it, and it was so noisy, just kind of squeaking. And it proceeded to run into Flo's room, and that's just no way of getting it there. So I set some traps. I kept all my door closed in the bedroom and all the other doors to try and just make sure if it was going to go anywhere, it would only come in here. And the day after, it was kind of moving around, and it was near Flo's bed, and he could hear the noise it was making. But then there was no more noise, and I don't know. I have a suspicion Bob may have caught it in the middle of the night when I was deeply asleep, because it would have made noise, I'm sure. But I've seen Bob with that other mouse, so he may have just caught it quickly and brought it outside. And I maybe didn't hear anything, or it's still here, but it's doubtful, because mice, they don't tend to stay. You know, they don't. At some point during the day, you hear them or you see them or something. And I was looking for droppings in Flo's room. I don't see any. Either that or it found a way out somehow. I don't know if there's some kind of hole in the wall behind all that stuff, all where Flo's clothes are and all the stationery is. Anyway, this has been this has been December 2025. Be an idea. It's yeah, you can actually have a rundown of the year because this is a good way of showing how long a year is. Although time is just so bizarre. I was saying that to someone. You know, when I think of David Bowie, he died a decade ago now, and I remember Flo got a message from Mick Manley, and we were both in bed, which meant Flo hadn't actually. Oh yeah, it was 10 years ago. What am I talking about? We were both obviously we were in the same bed, and that moment doesn't seem that long ago. But the problem with that is that's not the same as saying 10 years ago had gone very quick. It just means that memory is very strong, and that memory will always seem, in a sense, recent. But it's because of the memory. It's not because of anything else. There could be some other memory from that time that you've completely forgotten about. But if someone said it or you saw a photograph, you may look at it and think, "Oh, wow, that seems longer ago." But anyway, the year of 2024, if you like, if we go back to October, I had my adventure in Marbella, where I lost my wallet and I drank some cans of beer from the fridge. Skull. And then November was the end of the Connemara and giving the keys over and all that. Cleaning up, taking stuff. And then we were into the Voyager thing at the time, and then we went to Toulouse, to Emily's place. And we walked around the city of Toulouse. That was December last year. Quite different to this year. It may have actually been even the new year. And then January, when I came back, it was the beginning of looking for a job in Mick Manley. I was driving him up and down to Cadarache for a few weeks. Then, of course, February was the beginning of the course. This is a year ago, so this is how a year feels. You can say one way or the other that we were more or less in Toulouse a year ago. Walking around that place and driving to some other parts of it. Going to the Space Museum. February, of course, was the beginning of the enrollment for the French course. And that does seem, I mean, that seems like quite a while ago now. That whole business of getting up at 7:15. Oh, and of course there was the experience with the Boulangerie Ange, which all happened at the end of February, I think. And me wrecking the car, or wrecking the wheel of the car. And then being very nervous about driving to Manosque for a while, but then ending up quite liking the drive. It became a nice moment driving. This was before my tooth started acting up and everything. So those moments were quite nice, but there was something on my mind even then. Fuck, is there ever a time when there's not something on my mind? Because I remember driving to the class in Manosque in the can't remember what the place was called, across from Action. But I remember something being on my mind even then. I wonder, was it my eye? I think I still had to have some injections. I don't know. I remember feeling stressed about stuff, and I don't know exactly what it was. But that all took place, and that really kept me going. That was quite a nice routine. And then I went to see Dr. Mashi, and she went on about, oh, you're going to try these injections, which was really disappointing. That was June, I suppose, July. And then the course finished, and I messed up the internship, which will always kind of stay with me, in Carrefour, Labrienne. And then I had an audition for a job in a five-star hotel in Man, which I didn't like. Applied to the old folks' homes to work in the kitchen in Orzon, 2 of them. Applied for Intermarché 2 or 3 times. And I guess by the time it got to September, I was all out of kind of work ideas. October, November, going to the doctor in X to have the injections through all of those that month, November. Going up once and forgetting to bring the friggin' injection, and then also forgetting to bring my card Vital and having to come all the way back without any injection, and then going 2 days later in a taxi. So how would I rate the year? Well, it was all right. I made some money, which is kind of important to me, to just make something. That's going to be a big worry of the next year. Next year, what I'm hoping for is that I get my teeth sorted out early February, get the worst of that behind me. We go to Dr. Merite, and he says, well, we're going to just leave your eye alone, or I fucking say to him, no more injections. And then I have an IRM scan. I have to have one of those. And then we just wait for till the summer to see Meshi again. And this time I say, look, I'm quite happy with the way things are, and I don't want any more injections. My eye seems to be stable. I don't see the point. And if she can't convince me, I'm going to stick to that. And if she says, well, it's going to deteriorate, you need blah, blah, and I'll say, well, I'm going to wait for it to deteriorate then. And if she said, oh, but that's not the way it works, I think I'm going to try and still be... my idea of a good year basically would be if I got my teeth sorted out and there was no more eye injections, if I could have most of the year without any medical, dentistry, eye, anything. Of course, this is when you get to 60, you can't guarantee anything anymore like that. I've had kind of shocks to the system when you least expect them, I got a slight problem with my eye. I'm going here. I'm sure it just maybe they'll do something with the laser treatment they have. That's what I thought at the time. And that kind of spiraled into all kinds of fucking stuff. Even the same with my tooth, I was kind of hoping the guy could, I was hoping Dan would be able to remove the thing, just clean it out and put it back in. But that led on to So in 2026, I would love the year to be without medical incidents, without any more injections, without any more dentist stuff, without any more medical surprises, you know. And then it would be a bonus to find some kind of work, or to, it's not really the work, to money, to be honest, to have some system where I can get some money and give it to flow to help with the rent and the bills and stuff. I don't care what it is. If they judge me to be having a handicap, or I'd be quite happy to tick the autism box. If, just to get the money, I'd be happy. And there was I don't know whether this will last or not. It'd be interesting to see, but there is some people, a guy that does drama, I think, in Manosque, and it's in English, I think, and I would love to get involved with that. As a 60-year-old, I would love to just see what's going on. If it's just Shakespeare and Chekhov, I wouldn't have any interest. But on the off chance that they're doing something that's interesting, I wouldn't mind doing that. Anyhow, I've been talking for 31 minutes. I got to put the blinds down now, it's pitch dark. And I guess it'll soon be time to eat. It's after 6. So I shall say, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to my future self. Goodbye.